Glider 10-3 Soaring Techniques. We're cruising in the wave, let's talk tactics. The approach to utilizing this lift depends on a couple of key factors: the strength of the lift and the wind speed. Sometimes, that slow climb is just the prelude to a spectacular ascent. The variometer might be humming along at a modest 1,000 feet per minute, but hang in there. The lift often improves with altitude. Now, when the wind decides to show off its strength at 40 knots or more, it's time to get strategic. Find the sweet spot, that robust part of the wave, and point into the wind. Adjust your speed to cozy up to that sweet lift. Ideally, you want to be on the upwind side of the rotor cloud or just before any lenticular clouds. And here's a pro tip. Aim for a speed close to your glider's minimum sink speed for the optimum experience. But beware, in strong winds, you might need to nudge that speed up a bit to stay in the prime lift. Don't let the glider drift downwind. That could be a costly slip-up. Now, let's talk wave dynamics. The lift isn't always stationary over the ground. It can be a bit of a free spirit. Small changes in wind speed or stability can alter the game within minutes. If you sense the lift dwindling, it's time to play detective. Either you're reaching the wave's zenith, you've moved out of the prime lift, or the wavelength of the lee wave has shifted. Explore the airspace for better lift, and make sure to check upwind first. Glide downwind into the rhythm of the updraft, and if you've got it wrong, you can drift back into the sweet spot. Always keep an eye on your airspeed, though. Exceeding maneuvering speed or the rough air redline could land you back in the rotor. In moderate winds, 20 to 40 knots, you can engage in a bit of back and forth action along the wave lift. Similar to sloped soaring, crab into the wind and make all your turns into the wind to dodge that downside peril. But beware, climbing higher might tempt you to drift downwind into a sink. So, if you're changing course upwind, keep that crab angle from the first leg to prevent drifting too far downwind. With no clouds in sight, rely on ground references to keep that crab angle spot on. As you ascend into stronger winds, you might transition from crabbing back and forth to a stationary upwind heading. If the lift area shrinks, consider an oval-shaped pattern, fly straight into the wind and lift, and when it fades, do a quick 360-degree turn to reposition. These techniques have their charm, but keep in mind, they work better in lighter winds. When winds are moderate or strong, they might lead you into the dreaded sink. Keep those wings level and ride the lift. Let's delve deeply into the art of climbing in waves. Now, when we talk about climbing, we've been assuming the primary wave takes center stage. It's like a symphony of waves up there. So, here's the game plan. You can climb in one of these secondary or tertiary waves and then bravely penetrate into the next wave upwind. The success of this venture depends on factors like wind strength, cloud formations, and the sink intensity downwind of those wave crests. Picture this scenario. You've ascended to great heights in the secondary or tertiary lee wave, and now you're eyeing that next wave upwind. But hold on tight, because as you penetrate upwind, the transition into the downwind side of the rotor can be as abrupt as the upwind side. So, it's a careful maneuver. Keep an eye on your speed, and at the first hint of turbulence, ease up a bit. Expect to lose some altitude during this upwind journey through the sinking side of the next wave. Now, if you're feeling the need for speed in descending, you can tap into the sink downwind of the wave crest. Sometimes, the space between a rotor cloud and overlying lenticulars is too snug for a safe downwind transition. In such cases, a crosswind detour might be your saving grace, especially if the wave is from a shorter ridge or mountain range. Now, if clouds are playing hide and seek, and a downwind or crosswind departure isn't on the menu, you might find yourself descending on the upwind side of the wave crest. Spoilers or dive brakes can be your allies in this descent through the updraft, followed by a transition under the rotor cloud and through the rotor. But hey, here's the catch. Keep in mind, a descent back through the rotor isn't exactly a joyride. It demands caution, especially considering the potential challenges of transitioning into the rotor with too much speed. So, let's say it together. Having a solid exit strategy before reaching great heights is the golden rule. Conditions can shift faster than you can say, wave soaring, and it pays to be prepared. Now, let's rewind a bit and revisit some of the dangers and precautions we've hinted at before. If hypoxia makes an unexpected appearance, check your oxygen system pronto and descend to lower altitudes where oxygen isn't a VIP. And remember, as you ascend, it gets cold up there, even if you're bundled up like you're heading to the Arctic. Don't wait until you're shivering. Descend before it becomes an icy ordeal. Rotor turbulence is a wildcard in this game. It can be mild or wild, so whether you're on tow or transitioning from smooth wave flow to rotor, tread carefully. Rotors near the landing area can be mischievous, causing abrupt shifts in surface winds. And here's a heads up. Warm, moist exhaled air might give you a frosty surprise on the canopy. If that happens, open those air vents or consider installing clear vision panels. If frost insists on taking center stage, descend before it becomes a visibility hazard. Wet waves, the ones accompanied by ample clouds, bring their own set of challenges. Watch out for those gaps closing beneath your glider, and if you find yourself trapped above the cloud, having a reliable spiral mode is your safety net. Knowing the actual sunset time is crucial. Even if you're basking in bright sunshine at 25,000 feet, the ground below could already be slipping into darkness. So, plan your descent wisely. 20 minutes to lose 20,000 feet might sound like a breeze, but caution is your co-pilot. Now, let's talk about flights under a rotor cloud. Flying under a rotor cloud is not for the faint-hearted, and those sink rates can catch you off guard if you're not careful. So, there you have it, a comprehensive guide to the risks and rewards of wave soaring. If you click like and subscribe and leave a comment, we will provide a coupon for a free PDF download, one of 9 ebooks. However, each individual can only download up to 1 out of 9 ebooks for free.